The story begins in a small town called Fair Lake in West Virginia, where people are celebrating Halloween with full enthusiasm. The annual Mountain Man Music Festival is in full swing, and the entire town is buzzing with energy. People are dressed in scary costumes, enjoying the eerie spirit of the festival. Amidst all the excitement, Kaylin, a news reporter, is covering the event live. The background is filled with terrifying costumes, spooky lights, and music echoing through the streets. Once her coverage ends, Kaylin decides to take a break and go for a jog. As she continues running, she unknowingly enters the dense woods far away from the town. While jogging through the woods, she suddenly encounters a man named Sawtooth, who is standing silently. Kaylin bursts into laughter, thinking he is just another festival attendee in costume. She continues jogging, ignoring him. A few moments later, she comes across One Eye and once again assumes it's someone participating in the Halloween celebration. But then she meets the third and most threatening figure, Three Finger. His appearance is horrifying, and it's obvious that he's not just wearing a mask. When Kaylin points a finger at him, mockingly, he violently cuts off her finger, sending her into a panic. Terrified and bleeding, she starts running for her life. She stumbles upon a man who appears to be a savior, but he is, in fact, Maynard, a sinister figure pretending to help. As Kaylin tries to plead for her life, Maynard kills her cold-bloodedly. This is when we learn that Sawtooth, One Eye, and Three Finger are not random killers. They serve Maynard. These three cannibalistic brothers had previously met Maynard when he was released from a sanatorium. He took them under his wing because, like them, he is also a ruthless murderer and flesh-eater. After killing Kaylin, they drag her body to their isolated wooden cabin deep in the woods. They begin dismembering her body, as they've done to many others. Maynard, however, gets furious with them for being careless and not hiding the evidence. The three brothers fear him and obey him like slaves under his dark command. Soon, we are introduced to 5 college friends who are heading toward the Mountain Man Music Festival. They drive through winding forest roads, unaware of the terror ahead. Suddenly, Maynard intentionally appears in front of their car. Trying to avoid hitting him, they crash their vehicle into a tree. Pretending to be injured, Maynard accuses them of hitting him. However, Billy, the driver, is confident that the car didn't touch Maynard. As Billy steps forward to confirm, Maynard stabs him with a knife. The rest of the group rushes to defend Billy and beat up Maynard. Meanwhile, the 3 cannibal brothers are watching everything from the shadows, ready to pounce. Before they can attack, Sheriff Angela and her deputy Biggs arrive. Angela arrests everyone involved, including Maynard, and orders Biggs to remain at the scene until a drug transport vehicle arrives. Once Angela and the group leave, the cannibals ambush Biggs and brutally kill him. Later, in order to protect his friends, Billy takes all the blame for the fight. They are taken to a nearby motel to spend the night under watch. Angela, continuing her investigation, discovers that Maynard is a wanted criminal and not who he pretends to be. She informs her higher-ups, who assure her they will take custody of him the following morning. Meanwhile, Maynard warns Angela that she won't live to see that morning, since the entire town is empty due to the festival being held outside the city limits. The cannibal brothers make their move. First, they crash a truck into a cell tower, cutting off all mobile signals. Next, they head to the power station, where they kill a security guard by electrocuting him and shut down the town's electricity. Angela tries to contact other officers, but they are too busy managing the festival. Meanwhile, one of Billy's friends, Cruz, brings food to him, but is followed and hunted down by Three Finger. She struggles, but is eventually captured and killed. Another friend, Julian, walks nearby, but doesn't see Cruz's mutilation. When Billy later asks Julian about her, he says she left before him. Meanwhile, Lita, one of the girls, goes for a bath. As she's inside, Sawtooth grabs their friend Gus and drags him away. Hearing the noise, Lita runs out, only to be attacked by One Eye. She narrowly escapes with her life. Later, someone knocks at the police station door. Billy thinks it might be Cruz, but when Angela opens the door, it's her husband delivering food. He leaves leaves without suspecting anything wrong. In the woods, the three brothers torture Gus by smashing his legs with a hammer. They throw his bleeding body in front of the police station, where he screams in agony. Billy and Julian recognize him and rush outside. Angela follows to help, but the cannibals run over Gus with their truck, killing him instantly. Angela realizes the situation is getting out of control. She deputizes Billy, Julian, and a prisoner, handing them firearms. Billy wants to go look for Cruz, but Angela tells him to stay and protect the station. Angela heads to a small shop that has a generator and a working radio. She manages to get the generator started and contacts someone for help, but the person on the other end thinks it's a Halloween prank and doesn't take her seriously. Lita, still blind and injured, reaches the police station and knocks on the door. The prisoner, panicked, fires his weapon, but thankfully Lita is not harmed. Billy asks her again about Cruz, but she has no idea either. Billy and Julian venture into the forest again and eventually find Cruz's mutilated body lying in the middle of the road. Enraged, Billy loses control. Suddenly, Three Finger appears. Both of them run, but get trapped and captured. Billy regains consciousness to find himself buried in a football field with only his head above ground. Julian is chained nearby. As they struggle, Three Finger approaches with a snowblower. Billy realizes the horrific way he's about to die. The cannibal slices Billy's head off with the machine, then moves toward Julian and kills him too. When both fail to return, Angela sends the prisoner to the festival to get help. She lends him her car, but while driving on the dark road, he doesn't notice barbed wire stretched across it, causing a deadly crash. The brothers drag him to a nearby abandoned store, lock him in a steel barrel, and light it on fire. Angela hears his screams and rushes to the store, but it explodes just as she arrives. On the other hand, Maynard convinces blind Lita to release him, promising no harm. Trusting him, she unlocks his cell, but he immediately gouges out her eyes, rendering her completely blind. Screaming, Lita runs outside. Angela sees her and helps her. Meanwhile, Maynard comes out with a weapon. Before he can shoot, Angela fires and wounds him. She takes both Maynard and Lita back to the station, locking Maynard up again. Angela goes back out, searching for help. She sees her husband's car and approaches it. As she opens the door, a sharp blade, rigged above his head, is triggered and kills him instantly. Then Three Finger rams his truck into the car from behind. Angela barely survives, but is captured and knocked unconscious. Maynard now begins threatening Lita again, saying he'll torture her forever. Angela regains consciousness inside the police station, tied to a chair. The three brothers are pouring gasoline all over the room. Maynard presents Angela with two options. Either she burns alive, or she drops her heel on a trigger connected to a gun aimed at her head. It's a cruel choice between two types of death. He leaves the room, setting the station on fire. From outside, a gunshot is heard. Maynard believes Angela has taken the second option. Meanwhile, Lita stumbles onto a highway and sees a truck approaching. She begs for help, but it's Maynard's truck. Three Finger grabs her and throws her into the back. Maynard laughs and welcomes her aboard. The movie ends here. Thanks for reading. Please like and share the story.